Thank you for joining us on Spiritual Journey Podcast. I'm Mary Silvernail, and
I'm Thomas Knight Stepler, and we are your hosts. And we got a great topic tonight. Mary and I had discussed it earlier, and I think you're going to love it. We're coming into the Lionsgate. And for those of you that don't know what the Lionsgate is, it's an alignment of, I think it's Sirius, is it?
yes,
So
Sirius
it's,
also.
yeah, and it's in Leo, and it's like they call it a nickname for it is Leo's fire. Okay.
Mhm.
But
That's right.
I'll leave the astrological stuff to Mary. All right, Mayor. Over to you, Mayor.
Now, okay. Well, what's so important about the Lionsgate is it's August 8th every year on 8/8. And 8 is a very powerful number in numerology. This particular year, August the 8th, 2026, okay, is we really get in some ways a triple eight. If you just take the 2 6, 2 + 6 is 8, so we have 8 8, and then 2 + 6 is 8. Or if you also add the 2 0, then it all equals a 10, which reduces to 1, which is brand new beautiful beginnings.
Beginning.
Yes,
That's right.
but it's a time of manifestation, major.
The energy of it is, from what I understand, is that it's awakening of our DNA
Mhm.
has something to do with that energy coming in. One thing I have learned over the years with this Lion Gate is that during this period of time, it comes right after the retrograde of Mercury. And during this period of time is your good thoughts turn into good things. However, watch your thoughts because if you have thoughts that are not so good, that will manifest too. And it will drain your energy. So be aware. Be aware that this is a great time for everybody to work on a better them, a better yourself, and to better others. Okay. By being, that beneficial person in somebody's life at this particular time.
That's
You
right.
know,
And on top of that, Tommy, we have something else that's happening. Actually, well, tomorrow, July the 29th. Today is July the 28th,
yes.
2026. So that's why we're doing this show regarding the Lionsgate, because it's coming up just in a week and a half. However, what also is happening tomorrow is very, very lucky. This has not happened in 12 years, that the planet Jupiter is going to be conjunct the sun in the sign of Leo, and it's going to be during the shadow periods also of the Lionsgate. Tomorrow is a very, very, very lucky day. Lucky, lucky, lucky day. And so if there's something that you've been wanting to do or that you really have your heart set on, tomorrow is a very good day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Mhm.
is. The eights we were talking about before, you know, a lot of people don't realize is that the eight, when it's inverted, it's a symbol of infinity.
Yes, it is.
Okay. The eight's are also a symbol of abundance, money, financials. And this is really coming because of the two and the six, it's another eight, so that really fortifies the position. I would really, really recommend to you at this particular time that we're coming out of. What is the retrograde over? Is it over today or tomorrow? The Mercury.
Grade is over, but we're still in the shadow period.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably why initially we were having some technical difficulties, etc. But
Mhm.
what you're saying about the 8, Tommy, it's infinity. Okay, as above, so below.
Below.
That's the 8. And also, it symbolizes very strongly abundance, as what we were saying before. The other thing is that it's empowerment and leadership. It's such a strong number. I gotta share this with you. My sister Judy, it was her favorite number of all, and she was a numerologist. I mean, she was a professional numerologist, and number 8 was her very, very, very special number. So, I mean, the
Well,
Lionsgate is all
we are
about
kind of
manifestation. Hmm?
we are kind of in that too because we have Archangel Ariel with the 444. It's also a derivative of 8, and so this Lion Gate is particularly very good for us too. You know, it's like it comes
Oh,
out of it's
mhm.
something to do with the um what was it I heard? The Earth is aligned with Sirius and Orion. It was coming
Sirius,
from
yes,
Orion.
it's the one and only time that every year Sirius lines up. Actually, what this goes back to the Egyptians. So we have 3 stars lined up right
Yeah.
above the 3 pyramids, and it's extremely intense. Now, every year this happens,
This happens,
all the
yeah.
way back
That's a
to the
big
Egyptians.
that's a beautiful sight too. I've seen that. It's
Well,
really, really nice. Yeah. Uh, what else would there be?
it's beautiful. It's absolutely, absolutely stunning. And we know that the Egyptians truly knew so much more than we even know now. So
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. Because they basically were taught, okay.
yep, I
Um,
agree.
you know the rest of the story, what they were
Well, go
taught by.
ahead, say it, because I'm
And
in
yeah,
agreement.
and that knowledge was lost over the years. Why was it lost? Because it was taken out because instead of having the power in your hands, it put the power in other people's hands and they have the power over you. We are so misdirected these days, by everything around us, the media, everything you hear, the internet. You get so many stories. It's just like we're talking about the Lionsgate tonight. Somebody watching the show will take something you say, Mary, or I say. By the time it reaches the next person, it's a little perverted, not perverse. Okay, did I say perverted? Jeez, perverse.
Yeah, you
It's been
did.
changed a little. Then the next person tells it to the next person, and before you know it, it comes out to something that none of us said. Okay, and it just grows and grows and grows. Because people always fuel things that are negative, not things that are positive. They latch onto it. We have been taught to watch that thing and hear nothing but negativity. And you don't want to do that at this time of the year. This is the Lionsgate portal. This is your chance to revere, to redeem yourself and be what you're supposed to be, to get the things that you want for not only yourself, but for your family and for people you wish in.
That's right.
Situations that are bad, to bring them to be good, bring back people into your life that for some reason just made a vacuum and disappeared, you know, really, 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 really expand your horizons at this point of the year. You want to try a new venue, a new job, go to school, do whatever it is. This is when you do it, but
Mhm.
keep it on the positive note because the energy that's going to be coming in here is super energy,
Super
super
duper,
energy.
super duper. And even, I mean, this is all starting now. It's been going on. Remember when we were doing the Spiritual Journey TV show and we
Yes,
were talking about the healing basket, you know? I mean, people don't, what's happening up in the heavens right now, people, astrologers have never seen before. So,
because
it's very exciting to me at this time to see what's going to come of all this. But I can tell you, July 29th, as I was mentioning before, about the first time in 12 years for lucky Jupiter to be conjunct the sun in the sign of Leo. Leo, the lion, the heart rules the heart. Also, it's the Aquarius full moon tomorrow night. So, I mean, you have so much energy, universal energy that's shining down on us right now. As you say, Tommy, this is the time to manifest what you want. And
But
whatever you begin to manifest now is going to show up for you. It's going to appear. So, as Tommy was saying, whether good or whether bad. So, watch what you're thinking, watch what you're wishing for,
that's
watch
right.
what you're,
That's right.
yeah, because it's going to happen in August. Whatever
And
you're wishing for is going to happen in August of this
just
year.
have just have humility in your heart. Go forward in your life and want the best things for you and your family and your friends and acquaintances. But you want the best for everybody. All right. And don't dwell on anything negative. We're bombarded with this constantly. And if you fuel it with a negative thought in your head, watching something negative or hearing somebody talking bad about someone, you're also going to wind up energizing that thought.
Yeah,
It's time now to just grow up, for crying out loud, and step out of it. Step
I
out of
like
it, because
I
that's
like
that's
that
gonna
word that you just used, super energized, because we're in that period of time.
it
Yes.
it really is, man. We talk about it, all the time. When I think about this particular time of year, it's like you're like a 5-year-old in the candy store going to put your hand in the goodie jar because everything is there for you to have. Why would you even want to screw that up by thinking something terrible or wishing bad on someone? You're going to super energize that. You don't want to do that. Be the beneficial person you were created to be, right? Have the humility in your heart, help others that could use your help. You'd be surprised. Maybe, you see somebody in the street, you don't have anything to give them, right? But can't you just give them a quiet blessing? You know, I mean, come from the heart, you know,
See what
come
you
from the
just
heart
said?
with it.
That's what's going on here with the Lionsgate because it's ruling the heart chakra. The sign Leo, which is Leo the lion,
That's right.
rules the heart. This is all
Mhm.
about love. This, if let me tell you something, especially how powerful this particular Lionsgate is this year. If we could all concentrate on the way that you're discussing here about allowing love to be uh, the commanding factor with this
That's
and
right.
manifesting that, my goodness, we could turn this around. What's happening in the world right now? We could just shift it, seriously. And I'm not talking about each individual, yes, but if each individual does this, what happens is the collective is what will change the
Yeah.
situation in the world. This is really a good time to do it.
It's a good time to do a lot of things. I personally, because of the superpower that's in this, is to, if you want to connect with loved ones who passed, if you want to connect with your spirit guides, particularly if you want to connect with your guardian angels and your archangels, this is the time. All right. This is the time. This is the most harmonious time in the course of the year. Okay. To manifest the good things in life, the well wishes for others, to help them, and to help yourself. Remember one thing: everything that you do that is on a positive faction for somebody else, God blesses you with the same thing.
Mhm.
Don't do it for somebody's going to say, it's a pat on the back. Do it because you're a good person. Do it because you change your ways. Do it because it's a new beginning, a new start, starting off in the best time of year to do it.
It's interesting that the two angels that really come to mind for me, as you were saying before about Metatron, which, oh my goodness, he can turn any situation around. I mean,
Yes.
turn any situation around like that. That's what he's known for, very quick, literally can turn a person's life around. That's who I work with actually when I do the reconnection for people, and that turns their lives around. But Ariel is who you talked about before, is the lioness of God. That's what her name
That's
means.
that's right. The
And this is the
lioness of God.
lion.
That's right. You
And
know,
think about it, Tommy, right? By the pyramids there, the Sphinx, the Sphinx, all right? They're lion heads, right? Or
I
the
thought you said
heads of the
something
lion.
else.
They're not lion, they're lion bodies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But see,
The
so
lion bodies with the Egyptian headdress.
right. Now think about that. What we were talking about before, where the lineup of those stars are in the heavens on 8-8 and the pyramids and the lion. I mean, come on, it all makes sense, right?
I mean, not only does it all make sense, but it's just unbelievable to me on how that happens on these certain dates throughout history. And now we have that thing that you showed me on the show, the other show, with the looks like a goblet. All right. I have never seen that before. All right. I've never
Well,
seen that before.
it's a
You know,
basket. It's called a
it's a basket.
basket. It's the alignment of certain planets and the aspects of them create, like when you use the geometry, okay, and you draw the lines and all that, it looks like a basket.
That's
And
true.
literally it can be the healing basket.
That's right. This is a time where you can so say for those of you that listen to me, what's happening to me today? For those of you out there that maybe do positive enforcement or mantras and things like that, you can say now coming into the Lionsgate to be more energized. Okay, you can say things like, "I am always in the right place at the right time, and only good comes to me." All right, you can say things like that. You could also say like, "Everything that surrounds me that I'm involved with works out in my family." Okay, the blessings I wish for others, I wish for myself. Okay. Be the benevolent giver of your energy and of your time.
Well, I'd like to
These are
make
things.
some suggestions too,
Sure. Yeah,
that
yeah,
you can write down like anywhere between 3 and 8. Now, I'm using the number 3 to 8 intentions that you
fine.
would like to manifest, because 3 is the Trinity and
Right.
8 is this very powerful energy. But any of the opportunities that you would like to come to you, you can journal them, you can write them down.
That's
And
right.
also, this is also a great time of release. Now, I
Mhm.
have always believed that you need to release first before you bring in. I'm sure you agree with me on that,
I do
Tommy.
because I'm seeing what I do. Okay, I'll bring it up after this. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. So, you have to figure out what is it that you're really ready to release? Maybe habits that you don't like,
Mhm.
or maybe maybe you feel like people are taking advantage of you and you want to release them from your life, or whatever it is, or any addictions, or whatever it is, you want to release it, right? Um,
Yes.
so you do that first, and then you actually spend maybe about 10 or 15 minutes imagining. When I say imagining, visualizing what you really want to bring into your life. You don't just say it, and you have to see it, feel it, be there in the moment of it, having it.
That's right.
That's how
Say
you
it,
manifest.
say it, learn it, feel it, and then release it. You
Be
know,
there.
yes, the thing I wanted to say before is that
Yeah.
you gave me a great idea because I didn't even think of it until you said something about releasing. I
Mhm.
go down, when I'm going to do that, I go down to my beach. As you well know, I have sanctified for the Blessed Mother, and I have it sanctified for Archangel Michael. Okay, it's a lot of spirit activity down there, particularly when I go. All right. I take, like you said, write it down on a piece of paper. If I get people who are sick or needing prayer, whatever it is, I put their names on the paper And I go down there because at nighttime, when the tide comes in, the water comes in over the jetty and pulls out everything out of the rocks. And I put it in the rock. So I give it to the ocean. Why? There's kinetic energy there. So when the energy is coming in with the waves, I breathe in God's prana. Okay, that's God's energy. When I'm releasing with the retreat of the water, I'm giving up anything and everything negative that's around me, that's on me. Just get rid of it. And I give it to God and the angels, and that's it. And I do that a few times, and I'm clear. Okay. And I go home with a clear head. And that gave me a good idea to do that this week.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to make sure that I go to the beach. I'm going to try to get to the ocean. If not, I'll get to the bay. The reason is
As long as the
because, well,
water is, as long as the water's running.
yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it isn't a lake or a pond isn't going to do it. It really isn't
Yeah.
going to do it. So because you have to have the flow of the water,
Right.
because there's a Native American ceremony that I do. And it's a form of release, but we say that we're giving it to the grandmother of the moon, giving it to the grandmother of the water, and you're releasing it. And then you walk away, and actually within 4 days or 4 nights, and there's the number four again, that magic number, which is a very magic number for the Native American people. So there's that number four again. Within 4 days or 4 nights,
Yeah.
something will happen. Either you'll get a telephone call, or an email, or you'll get an inspiration, or the situational change, whatever it is. But see, it's the same kind of a thing. I also take a stone, I blow in it and out into the water. You could do that. Anybody can just come and do that. You know what I'm saying? They could just
Yes.
go and do that. It's not gonna, that's a form of release when you release your prana, what you're talking about there.
Well, yeah, when you're putting out your energy for the common good of others, like when you do a healing or I do a healing, we're putting out our energy, and we're asking God and the Holy Spirit to come in and deliver that. At this particular time, you can do that. Well wishes for people go a long way. You have somebody who is maybe under the weather, or you have someone with some kind of difficulty, whether it's a mental, financial, or whatever it is, or a person who is just unable to deal with the pressures of this life. And there is a lot of pressure in this particular life, particularly on the young people. I mean, I was watching something and they said that this generation is going to be the first generation that will not do better than their parents. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine
So
that? And they found
sad.
that
Oh my God,
this is
please. It's
this
so
is
sad.
this is this is directly for all you nerds out there, directly due that we got away from this computer to get onto this computer. Okay? That's why. No retention. There's no retention because your brain knows that the answer to any question is gonna be right there on that screen. You don't have to retain it anymore. When we were kids, you had to know your mathematical tables. You had to know your integers. You had to know your history. These kids don't know their history. That's why they're doing the horrible things they do in the street. If they knew how many people died to give them that right to do that, you know, it would be a wonderful thing. We need to change this and bring about revival. Bring back revival. Get things back to a wholesome America, not people hell bent on destroying it. And particularly at this time, with the negativity that's out there, that's not the time to do that. This is the time to say, hey, we have this problem in this city or in this country. We need to do something about it. So let's put our minds together in a positive fashion, being that we have this superpower behind us, and bring about the solution. All right.
Superpower. It's
You can't even
true. It
talk
is
to people
superpower.
anymore. Their minds are closed off because every day they hear horrible things about the other side. And even if you repeat something to somebody enough times, they're going to repeat it themselves. And that's you as a hypnotist, Mary. You know what I'm talking about. Repetitive thoughts form permanent.
Right. And that's why when people leave here, okay, after giving something up, like whether it's smoking or drugs or whatever it is, okay, after the hypnosis and all that, I give them the mantra. I give them a very positive mantra that puts them back in control. A mantra that they can repeat even 1,000 times a day. And look, you don't have to go to a hypnotist for that. All you have to do is just have that positive thought, whether you repeat it to yourself, whether you write it out, whether you just put it on a piece of paper and look at it during the day, whatever, but it has to be repetitive. Has to be
Repetitive. You know,
repetitive.
because when you do things repetitive, and as you know, Matt, because you do Native Americans with the drum thing, or the Aborigines with the drums, they pat on, they bring it up to a fever pitch, and it causes a frequency shift. All right,
Because it
and that
changes your
divinely,
brain chemistry,
yeah, well,
literally.
yeah, it divinely connects you to God. So my point
Opens
is that if you take they call them mantras. You know, a lot of people call them positive, whatever it is. Anyway, if you want to do a mantra, okay, that's fine, and just say, you know, I am this, I am that. Each day that I wake up, I was good today, but I will be better tomorrow, and I will be even better the next day, and just keep on repeating it. George Casasa, you know who George is, right? Goes by Joshua now. He had said something to me because I always have crazy times dealing with traffic going into Brooklyn or Queens, whatever I got to go do.
Yeah, you
And
know,
he said to me, all you have to do is say, repeat it. I move fast and time moves slow. That has never failed me once. And I just do this all the way to where I'm going. I move fast and time moves slow. I move fast and time moves slow. I move fast and time moves slow. And before I know it, it's like people were in front of me doing 10 miles an hour to get in another lane and let me go. And when I get to my place where I gotta go, there's a parking spot.
you're creating it, you're manifesting it.
That's
I
right.
call upon the
It's
angels,
this.
and because of the faith that I have in the angels, I literally manifest with the help of the angels. They
Yeah,
carry me to where I need to go when I'm stuck in
that's it.
traffic and things like that to get me
Yeah.
somewhere timely. And so it's the same kind of thing. It's all about mind control. It truly, truly is. It's a faith. And you have
It
faith
is. It's a
in when you
rhythmic.
are repeating that mantra, Tommy.
You
You have
remember on
faith.
the yeah. Remember when George, not George, Chris, when Chris said about that drumming thing that he listens to.
Yeah.
That's a rhythm. That's a rhythm gets him
Yes.
into a better psychic position to be able to read. And I think that anything that does that, anything that
Rhythmic.
raises your vibration, raises your frequency. People say, well, what is the vibration? What is the frequency? You are right now probably at low frequency if you do nothing but the minute you wake up, you're on the news. The minute you go to bed, you're still watching the news. It's designed to keep you in bondage, to keep you afraid, to set divisions between people. And we don't need any more divisions. We got enough of them as there is. We need to start to bring that power that does that on a regular basis and
When you
shut
start,
that thing.
you're right. So when you start feeling that affecting you in a negative way, when you start your day, you can say, no matter what comes to me today, I can handle it. I can
That's it.
handle it. Because so far through your life, you've already handled everything because literally you're still here, right?
This thing, whatever comes my way, that's negative, I will repackage it and set it free positively. I will repackage it. I will turn it around. I will take that frown and turn it upside down and make it a smile and send it back. You
That's
know,
right. That's
that's
right.
all.
That's right. You
That's
know,
all.
um, who who the heck is that again? With the law of attraction, one of the
Uh,
suggestions that
What's his name? Something Hicks. I can't think of his
Abraham
name.
Hicks,
Yeah, and his
Abraham
wife.
Hicks,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, then we also have The Secret, but I really like The Law of Attraction, Abraham Hicks. Long story
Yeah.
short, okay, one of the suggestions is that if you feel as though you're having a problem with money, put a $50 bill or really $100 bill in your wallet. Never touch it. Just make sure it's always there, because then you're never going to feel broke. And then
That's
you
right.
never will be broke, because if you don't feel broke, that's with manifestation, it's also the feelings. You have to really believe it. It isn't just like seeing a beautiful vision and all that. You have to be there and in that state of mind, living it.
Yeah. It's like when you're putting a person under hypnosis, right? You are telling them to use their imagination. Imagine themselves uh seeing the
On the
field of
beach.
or on the beach. For me, it's the beach. I there was a person I used to read his books, and his name was John Holland. He's a physical medium, and very good, very good.
Yeah.
And he said, I go to my beach of time. And what he does a countdown method, 1 to 5,
Hmm.
I mean, 5 down to 1, about 3 or 4 times going into deeper and deeper levels. Okay. And then when he finally gets to the last level, he's on his beach. And I see my beach. My beach, the water is extremely blue. It's not aquamarine. It is blue, like a
Hmm.
darker blue, right? And there's a table with an umbrella and everything, and a couple of chairs there. And over here, it has to be in Hawaii. It's got to be because I'm seeing what's the head over there? Something head, the mountain there. I can't think of it right now. Lion head, I don't know, something like that.
Hmm.
And maybe that's why I'm seeing that because it's in Hawaii, Fountainhead, whatever they call that thing. And I can see that beach, and nobody's on it but me.
Nobody.
And then when I
Yep.
walk out there, whatever I have, carrying baggage, and I want to get rid of it, this, that, the other. I go out there. It's very relaxing because I step down all that to get relaxed to the point. Step out into the ocean, and the deeper I go, and the water comes over my chest and even over my head, it's taken everything away. All right. And because I'm on my beach at time and I'm under the water, I don't die because I'm in my imaginative state. And I come back out of it totally cleansed of the negativity. Then I sit there a while and just give thanks. And then when I feel it, I do the count back to come out of it, the stages. It's like a 3-step stage. And I do the count back to come out of it. Finally coming back to who I am, open your eyes, boom, and I'm good. Now, you know
Great.
what I just
It's
you know what I
great.
just described. Yeah. What I just
What?
described
What?
is basic hypnosis is what it was. You
Yes.
know, you took me
Yes.
to I took myself to a magical place. That's like you take people to a place where they see themselves and yeah, they don't smoke anymore. Or they see themselves uh and perhaps if they should go uh into a past life with you. When they reach the past life that's causing the reason they're there, they're like automatically cured by that because they snap out of it.
Yes. Once
That
you
would be
view it, actually, it balances the karma.
yeah, it does.
Literally,
And this
Tommy,
this
you
this would
view
be
that past life where that karma originated. I'm talking about
Mhm.
like from a bad relationship or a fear or a phobia
Yeah,
or an addiction. Okay. You view the origins of that if it's in if it's in a past life, whatever the origins are. But
yeah.
if it's in a past life, boom, karma
You know
gone,
what I'm thinking, man?
done. You're balanced.
You know what I'm thinking, man? Because we got this upcoming Lionsgate, is that you should really, at this juncture for the next, I would say month, because the Lionsgate not only goes for the 2 weeks, but it goes for at least two more after that. Sometimes into September, the energy is still there as it pulls away. However, that is the best time if you people out there in television land, if you have a problem, an addiction, or something that Mary or
Yeah,
I can help you with. This would be the time to do it because
this is
once
the
you get
time.
rid of it here, it's not going to stick to you anymore.
No. This is the
You
most
know,
powerful time of year to
yes.
release any of these negative things and bring in all that wonderful positive because you're manifesting it. You're absolutely right. You know, the Egyptians knew this. The Egyptians knew it. And people like you and I, metaphysicians, we know this. Not all metaphysicians realize that, though. I don't think, Tommy. Honestly, I'm not, that's not our ego here, but I really don't believe that they
You know,
truly
it's funny
realize the extent.
yeah, because who was it? Uh, it was suggested at this particular time for people to surrender their egos, because once you surrender your egos in this superpower, you become who you're supposed to be, the humble person that has love in his heart to share with others. All right. We are here on this earth to help one another. We are our brother's keeper. You heard it a million times. Why don't you act it? You know, instead of finding the fault in everybody, why don't you look for that sliver of good? Maybe everybody's good isn't what you consider good. All right. I know what happens for me. You know, I see people and I don't like what they're doing because I see it from a different perspective. I see that
Yeah.
how damaging it is to them. And they don't see it. And they become very delusional, thinking that this has got to be like this and this has got to be like that. Not a good thing. Surrender your ego. It's very hard. That's that little voice that comes out, like right now when Mary's like, ah, that ain't real. Well, that's your ego. And for you, it will not be real.
It's such a shame.
Remember, they create their own havoc. You create your own havoc. If you empower, and Mary knows this too, if you empower the negative thought, it will manifest.
Oh my
If you
goodness,
empower,
yeah.
if you empower the positive thought and empower it each and every day, it will manifest. You
The
start the
thoughts,
creation, but most of you fall out of it
the thoughts
because you go
create
through the due diligence.
a chemical reaction in the brain. Okay. And in order to change that chemistry of the brain, that's literally what I do when I hypnotize somebody. I'm changing the chemistry in their brain for them. Well, I give them the tools to do it themselves. You know, but the thing is that I know it gets very frustrating. And this is the time of year. This is ruled Leo rules the heart. This is all about love. Absolutely. All about
We,
love.
when I leave, say I want to step out, and I want to go flying around at nighttime, I come out to the
Oh,
heart.
what'd you
You know,
say?
that's my
Yes.
that's my opening because I want to leave. I know who's there with me. When I leave out of the heart chakra, I want to take the love that's here and expand it when I go out and share it. Okay, that's why I leave from here. Some people leave from the third eye. Some people, and that's also leaving with wisdom and knowledge. Okay, that's fine too. But for me, it's about love. Archangel Ariel, love. Archangel Ariel here. You know, and we're talking about that. Look at our colors, the lavender. All right, these are the colors that we present.
And pink.
And for the glory of our angel, as we see her on the top of the
The
podcast there.
sign outside my business. Oh, well, it has been. Actually, now we're going on 30 years. Okay. Purple and white. Purple and violet and white. You know, though, Tommy, this truly, and look at Ariel in her beautiful pink. Look at her, you know, and that's the color of love. These are the colors of love. The thing is, too, that we have to pull the attention to is about gratitude. Always, always,
Always be grateful.
always.
Always be grateful. And remember, as Christine Schiavone says, that attitude of gratitude, okay, will carry you through your day. Remember that. Be a grateful person for things that you have. Be a grateful person that you're here at this particular time in our history. Remember that when you were in the astral plane, you chose this time. This is a very, very turbulent time. People call it the end times. I call it the time of enlightenment, the new change, the change in what we are, in our essence, in our light bodies, in our being, in everything that makes us who we are. Okay, that's what we are, exemplified. We step out in our faith, okay, and we every single day are out there to help those that need our help and for some reason can't help themselves.
Mhm.
That's what our purpose is, to be of service to your fellow man and to love everyone the way God, your Father, your Creator, loves you. That is the prime directive in this life. Everything you see around you is garbage, means nothing. Is garbage, means nothing. If you're super wealthy, don't you dare look down your nose at others. Okay? Use that wealth to help people. If you're not so wealthy and you see somebody who's truly, truly starving, don't give them the money. Go buy him a sandwich, a cup of coffee. Be that person. Don't look for somebody to pat you on the back, because God loves a grateful giver. He does not look for someone who wants accolades. And right now, in this time of the portal, everything counts for even more because it's super energized in love. This is a season. This is a direct season to spread love, because you're going to be spreading the harmony of God with others. You can go to a church and sit there for an hour, whatever it is, and think that you've done what you had to do. How about the rest of the week? When Yeshua was walking this earth, church was everywhere he was. It was always outside. It was never in a building. It was never in a synagogue. Always outside.
Well, you're right, because one of the things that I was going to say after I was talking about the gratitude is then from there you walk in beauty. That's also another term from the Native American people that's always the wish to others is to walk in beauty, which meaning that you walk in beauty with love in your heart, appreciating everything on our earth here, you know? So one of the things is so important is, as we always talk about, getting out there in nature, whether it's the beach or you go to the woods, go for a
That's
walk in
right.
the woods, whatever you do. Or, I got to tell you, Tommy, I'm in the practice now of every morning I go outside and I just enjoy, except when it's raining, of course, but I just enjoy the feeling of the sun on my body, okay? And the birds singing and the fresh air, even as simple as that. Even if you just do that for 5 minutes every day to start your day, because
That's
whatever
it.
you do to start your day, that's going to set it for the
Well,
rest of the day.
here's what I would say to you, some of the people that are out there, is just say you're going to go with your family and you're going to go to the beach or Point Pleasant, or you're going to go to Connecticut, to Mystic Harbor, or anything like that. When you go there, not only to be grateful that you have your family to go with, but take your shoes and socks off, put your feet on the grass, put your
Absolutely,
hands in the air.
100%.
If you're at the beach, put your feet in the water because the kinetic energy is filling you. Put your hands in the air and give God all the glory. Give him your energy. Be one. You're going to be drawing the energy through your body, through your crown chakra, through your body, and it's going to ground in Mother Gaia. Okay, you are completing the circuit. Okay,
Exactly.
you ever look at the Earth and you look at the magnetism field around it? Here's the North Pole, here's the South Pole, and it's constantly generating like this.
Mhm.
It's like a quantum field that goes around the Earth.
Well,
When
look
you
at it
do
as
that and you
though
connect,
when you're barefoot and the negative energy is going out through your feet, Mother Earth is just mulching it.
She's
all that
purifying
bad
it.
energy. And when you
That's
put
right.
your hands up to the heavens, you're bringing down all that godly
That's right.
energy. It's wonderful, you know? That's why lots of times you see the Native American chief, you'll see the pictures of the Native American chief with his hands to the heavens and
All
his
the time.
feet flat onto the ground. Yes, that's what's going on.
I'll tell you, when I look at places of beauty, like say somebody shows me the Navajo reservation out there, and you see in the beautiful mountains and those plateaus that you used to see all the time in the John Wayne movies, the cavalry movies, you know what I mean? I always wanted to be there. I always wanted to take my little machine that I go out looking for coins and things and go there, see what I can find. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll find the Dutchman's lost mine. I don't know, but it just feel like connected to the land that way. I do have a Native American guide. I do have that.
Mhm.
So, and that's my appreciation for the outdoors. I mean, when I go walking, like even through the woods, I go walking through the woods, you know, I will say, like I see trees and this, that, the other, but the older the tree, the more wisdom, because it's seen a lot more than the saplings, just like us. The older the person, we used to revere our elderly. Why? Because they had far more knowledge of life than we do. And now, we just push them aside.
I mean, I showed you the tree when you were here at
Yeah.
my office, the tree outside above my building that every year I end up with all these leaves in the fall, an enormous amount, because that tree is a couple of 100 years old. It looks, I mean, it's a few 100 years. I don't know how many 100 years old, but it's huge. You saw that
You
tree.
know, you
I
know,
mean,
I'm hearing something for you right now.
the
It
tree of
says,
life. Wow.
yes, but it's also saying, it goes, my limbs are the arms that embrace you to keep you safe.
Say, I get that
So
feeling.
yeah, it that that
You're
that
right.
that it
I
should
love it.
be. You know why? Because both you and I don't know if you knew it, but I didn't know it, that there was a stream that runs behind a brook or whatever it is that runs behind your building there.
Yes.
That with that
Yes.
tree and the kinetic energy that goes by it, it's a very spiritual place. That's why your place is like that.
I told you, remember I told you that I was going to rent the place up outside of Asbury Park, Ocean Township. Very nice
Yeah.
area, beautiful building, lot of room. But then I had such a very unusual experience. I won't go through the whole thing again. But bottom line, then when I looked at the longitude and latitude of this particular place, the angles of the light were severely angelic. And
Yeah.
so that's why then I decided to come here, even though it was
Well,
small.
keep in mind one thing, Mary. You walked into that place, and the endeavor of having that business right where it is, if it's not your first time out, but really is your first time out in that particular unit. All right.
Well, yeah,
You
I was
you
out
you you
in
you
Freehold
you brought
initially
you you
in the
you
90s.
brought in all the angels that you work with
Yeah.
and became a focal point. It became a focal point. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if who comes in or what they come in for. What matters is that it's a focal point of energy that will draw people to you because they're going to be driven by their guides and by their angels, to that particular spot. Because what you
Um,
do, what's the matter? Something happened? What?
when was in my tour, many times they walk in either with a loved one that has passed, or a couple of loved ones that passed, or their angel, their guardian angel. And immediately, I see it, I feel it. Later on, I'll explain it to them. But I gotta tell you, Tommy, you're absolutely right, because that's what happens. And I told you how many times, how many miracles have happened here. Like the green feather that fell from the ceiling. Who can explain that? There was no feathers. It was right
Oh,
after I did a Reiki session. And the woman who sat up, actually, I've shown that green feather before on the TV show, you know,
Mhm.
and she had it framed because she was like just her guardian angel happened to have been Raphael, and it was
That was
immediately when she sat up from
that
a healing session.
that was her validation. You know, her
Yes,
validation. I told you the story when after I helped Melissa at the time with the test that she had to take. All
yes,
right. And then we went for a walk, and then the sparrow that flew over my shoulder. And then we walked down this whole path, and it was like at least 1,000 yards long before I started to turn to come around. And this bird just kept on hopping in front of me, didn't fly. And then up in the clouds, there's only this one big cloud, and there's Gabriel with his horn in the clouds. He was huge. And
yeah,
I said, look at that. She goes, oh my God. I said, that is for you. That's validation.
yes, the confirmation. And many people need that, you know, and that's beautiful. What a gift. What a blessing. What a
You know,
blessing.
I
You know,
know.
I think Kenny was trying to tell us how many minutes we have left.
10 minutes. He said
And
10 minutes. He said 10.
when
Probably have about 9 or 8 now. You know, but
I have to share something because we were talking about the tree of life. So, you
yes.
know, I went to see my daughter this past weekend, okay, and we all had a wonderful time. But she showed me this new bracelet. I commented, "Oh, it was so nice." And she said, "Look, Mom, it's the tree of life." I said,
I,
"Yeah."
I, I saw
So
I saw I don't know if it's this one. A bracelet kind of like this one that you gave me. Can you see it? Can you
Michael
see it?
one?
This one
Yeah.
here. It's
Oh,
that
that
had the
one.
tree that had the tree of life on it. And I also seen a circular thing. I think we even sell this thing at the store. It's a circular amulet that has the tree of life in it with the chakra colors around it. I've seen this. I believe we have it.
Think so.
Well, we have to.
I don't
Well,
think so. I'll
I will
look.
look.
I will.
I will look. You know, it could have been something
So
I seen in East West. Who knows? You know, like, every time I get
well,
something, I got to do it
that
anyway.
Michael bracelet has done you well, huh?
Yeah, every day,
Good.
every day.
So, because you work with
Every day.
Archangel Michael so much.
And then I got this
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah, you showed me that at the studio.
It's hard to do this, to
I
get it in there.
I love
Anyway,
it.
can you see it there?
Yeah, you got to take a picture of that. Maybe next time Kenny can
Yeah,
put it up.
it's the Temple of Night uh, symbol, and it was given to me by a friend, Mike, that I met through Chris George, and he had bought biker jewelry, and this was in it in a box with a Templar symbol on it. And he immediately thought of me, and he gave it to me, which I was very, very happy with it. I took it, and I went. The chain that was on it was thin. I was really, really scared that it was going to break. So I went over to the mall, and I got one for me, and I got one for my wife. So her necklace is very thin too, and I love it. I wear it every day. That's it. So,
You
anyway, what
showed
do we
me
got,
that
Ted?
in person. And the what was that about a week ago we did the show, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Spiritual Journey TV. And you showed me that. And I love it. It was made for you. Up
We got
5 minutes,
5 minutes.
Kenny says.
The thing is, Mary and I, whether it's the podcast or whether it's the show we do, or Mary's show that she does on her own, Angels Astrology and more, whether it is, we do have our share of miracles that happen. It just happens. People tell us that since they watch the show, their lives have changed dynamically in so many different ways. We
Yes.
had a show that we had 6 people on, and it was all about a healer that used to be in Jersey City, and he would have stigmata and all of this, right?
Right.
And he
Mhm.
was an excellent healer, and they were showing pictures of the things he did from 12 years prior. Now it's about 13 years or more. Okay. And I'm looking at the pictures when I'm looking at the monitor, and all of a sudden I see Padre Pio in the doorway. And if you look at
On
that
the wood,
episode,
on the wood
yeah,
though, Tommy.
yeah,
Yeah, he
I
was
know.
on the wood. Yeah,
Exit. Uh, it was segment 49 minutes in. I think it's 49 minutes it was in.
yeah,
Okay. And you witness an actual miracle before your eyes. You know, some people see the Blessed Mother with, I mean, that's what Raymond did. He sort of, the Blessed Mother had oils coming out of her tears. They would collect that and they would give people that to help them heal themselves.
yeah.
You know, and he was,
It was in the pictures. And Saint
yeah,
Anne too, his Saint Anne
saying,
picture. Yeah, and they would collect
you know,
the oil
you know,
and then send it off to people for healing. I mean, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely
there were,
wonderful.
there were, you know, people say, the Blessed Mother, the Virgin Birth, but what they don't understand is that Anne, the mother of Mary, that was a virgin birth.
Yeah,
And then the mother of John the Baptist, that also was a virgin birth.
yeah.
Okay.
Is that
Now you
Elizabeth?
only
Is
taught,
that Elizabeth?
you, yeah, you only
Is
taught
that
one. There were three. And notice the number, man. Three. Okay.
a hard time with that? And many times that's why a person will not they'll feel as though it's not real about Jesus
Yeah.
because, come on, how could his
First,
mother have been a
first of all,
virgin?
let's just clear the air with everything here with this Jesus. All right. Did Jesus exist? Yes, he did. Okay. But that was not his name. His name is Yeshua.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeshua. Yeshua Yamashiach. Get it in your head. That's his name. All right. Jesus didn't even exist. The letter did not exist in the Hebrew vernacular. Didn't exist to way later. Okay. This part about say the rapture. The rapture was put into the Bible in 1856. If that was something that was real, it would have been in the Bible from the beginning. Just saying, just nitpicking. You know, there's a lot of things. Okay. I would say to yourself, ask for the gifts of discernment. Read that because there is a lot of good stuff in there that comes from the ancient Sumerian text. If you think this is the first go around with this whole thing, you would be wrong. This earth has been here way more millions of years prior to everything that's happened. And if you think it only happened one time, it happened many times.
Possible.
On this planet,
Yes.
we are on a gerbil wheel until we
You know,
learn to
though,
wake up and step out. And that's what we're trying to do for you people. Make you wake up and step out. Stop being led by the nose and start being led by the Christ within.
we have 1 minute now, so we have
One
to
minute.
wrap it up.
Wrap it up, man. You want to wrap it up? You
Wrap
wrap
it
it up.
up.
Okay. It's a wrap. Tell you the
Wrap.
truth, I don't know how to wrap
Anyway,
right now. I'm hungry.
God bless you all, and please bring in what you want to and release what you want to, especially on August the 8th. But even the days leading up to this, and then we also have a shadow period after, this is the time of year, like Tommy was saying before about being the time of the year. This is it. So, anything else you had to say, Tom?
No, just that, we wish you many blessings and may your month be full of love and understanding for those who are less fortunate and just give of yourself. That's the best gift you can give. Give of yourself.
Absolutely.
With that, we'll
Amen.
call it a good night. All right.
Amen.
All right. We'll see you.
Many, many, many bright blessings.
See, I love when she
Thank
does that.
you.
Otherwise, it's not the show to me. All right. All right, man.